Hello folks, my name is Rod Machado, and I'd like to introduce you to my newest 8-hour IFR course titled Secrets of Instrument Approaches and Departures. Now, if you're an active IFR pilot or preparing for an IPC or even your ATP or IFR rating, then this course is for you. Why? Well, the IFR pilot's weakest link has always been approach and departure knowledge as it relates to instrument charts. For example, here is the Paso Robles VOR Bravo approach. Notice that the DME arcs on this approach begin at the point where they intercept the 77 and 179 degree radials from the Paso Robles VOR. And these radials don't appear to be flyable terminal routes since they don't have any minimum altitude values associated with them. That is, however, until you look at the low altitude en route chart, where you'll find that radials that begin DME arcs are airways, meaning that you can transition from an airway directly onto a DME arc as a means of finding your way to the approach procedure track. That's interesting, but what about something known as the approach's visual segment? This is the segment from the MDA or DA to the runway touchdown point. Now, as an instrument pilot, you need to know where there are obstacles in the visual segment that could destabilize your approach. There are several clues to help you identify these obstacles. For instance, the profile view of the Fullerton Localizer DME Runway 24 approach shows something known as a VDA, or vertical descent angle. And this is the projected angle that takes you from the final approach fix to a point on the runway. However, some approaches, such as the Nervino RNAV GPS Runway 26 approach, do not list a VDA. And that should immediately tell you that there are obstacles in the visual segment that could destabilize your approach, meaning that you might have to maneuver visually to avoid these obstacles during your descent to touchdown and landing. And what about this thing called cold temperature error that obligates you to make a cold temperature altitude correction when an airport has a temperature at or below the value next to the snowflake symbol shown in the briefing strip? That's right. You need to know how to correct your altitude for unusually cold temperatures at your destination airport, as well as know how to communicate this correction to air traffic control. You see, after many years of traveling around the country discussing instrument approach procedures with pilots, it became apparent to me that pilots were asking very similar questions about things that, well, they just couldn't find the answers to. Well, these are just a few of the things that you need to know about if you want to fly IFR safely and confidently. And that's what this course is all about, providing you with answers to these questions and much, much more. So let me be your instrument knowledge resource here in this 8-hour course. I know you'll find it educational, interesting, and thought-provoking regardless of your rating or skill level. I'm Rod Machado, and I hope you enjoy this course.